So yeah, let's go ahead and dive in. And this mentor class. Uh, this is a 6-week class that we used to run, mentor, and it was a paid class. So we're gonna try to condense this in like an hour or two today. It's like a summary of what what I teach. And this is also, to be honest, this is also the same topic that I teach for different conferences. I would go to different conferences, and talk about this mentor class. So listen, if you need the PowerPoint, just ask Emma or me. I'll send you the PowerPoint. But it's very, very important that you follow this mentor method, because it will actually boost your influence and impact in your specific industry, whatever industry you are wanting to go into, whether it's in therapy, whether it's in finance, whether it's in whatever industry you have. You just have to follow this mentor method. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the first slide. So this is me. All right, we got all these letters behind my name, the usual stuff, right? Yep, we want all those letters behind our name. You know what? Not to impress you, but to impress upon you, ladies and gentlemen, that if I can do it, you can do it too. But here's the key: you don't have to have all these letters behind my name. You just follow this mentor method, and it crosses out all this stuff that we're doing. You just have to follow this mentor method. You don't have to do PT, DPT, whether you're a PTA, CODA, a PT, or a OTA, or a OT, or a SLP. Just follow this mentor method, okay? All right, so let's keep on moving forward. This is me. I call myself Chief Inspiration Officer because I don't want to be called like Chief Executive Officer. I just want to be the inspiration for our company. So I call myself Chief Inspiration Officer, right? And I still work for I still contract for home health agency. I go to different home health agencies. I contract. We send our PTA. They do our treatment. So I still work as a physical therapist. And then outpatient, we have a small brick and mortar that we're opening, and we also do out assisted living. I used to work for an acute hospital and also nursing homes. Okay, and then I also work. This is my alternative career, ladies and gentlemen. I used to work as a medical representative after graduating PT school. Okay, so after graduating PT school, 1999. Okay, yeah, 1999. See, 1999. I was born in the 70s, but I graduated PT school 1999. And then I can't find a job, just like what's happening with the rest of us here in the group. Can't find a job. So I work as a pharmaceutical rep for 10 years. And I thought I'm not going to go back, but I'm back doing therapy, right? So the key here is learning how to adapt and adjust. The destination here is it's not about the boat that you're riding. It's not about the car, but you're enjoying the ride. And along the way, you need to adapt and adjust. Okay, so where's the slide? So I worked for as a pharmaceutical rep for 10 years. Imagine that. And then went to the States again and, did that. And then I also operated what you call Meet Chew Trading. Meet Chew, it was my initial, Michael Chua. So Meet Chew Trading, and we traded different stuff. Like we had like a small trucking company. It's not a big truck, like small delivery company. We had like a computer shop where we rented out computers, and all small businesses. And that's it. So, but right now, this is what we do. We contract with different agencies. We're starting that's Gerihab physical therapy here in Jackson, Tennessee, and that's it. Okay. All right. So this is also what we do. We moderate and admin the group Alternative Healthcare Careers for Rehab Professional. This is an old slide. We used to just be 23,000. Now we're like 30 something now. We also moderate what the group called Alzheimer's and Dementia Support Group. We're going to be talking about this. Why? Because this is part of how you improve your influence and impact in improving to increase your income. Okay. We also have a show or a podcast called Misunderstanding Dementia. Now I'm changing it. Okay. So listen to this. I'm changing it to what you call Gerihab Show. Why? Because we want to brand that outpatient clinic under that system. So I asked my virtual assistant. I have like virtual assistants that works for me, and I asked them, "Hey, can we just start our new podcast?" And they recommended, no, we just rename your podcast so you have your previous episodes, and so you could just continue it. So we're just renaming it and rebranding it as Jerry Hab Show instead of Misunderstanding Dementia. And same thing with our shows here. In Emma could attest to this, right, Emma? We started the group with just a regular show. We named it Dr. Mike Chua Show and Emma Show or some other shows. And then okay, we just decided it's called Alternative Healthcare Career Show now. So it's all
really
about
best to brand. Exactly.
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
You want to keep it easy. So I got a couple questions the other day from someone in ergonomics, and she was trying to figure out her branding. And it's so important that you pick a name. And I know a lot of people are worried about it being too niche or not niche enough. But when you pick a name, you want to pick something that's easy to say, easy to spell, easy to write, and then keep with that. Your podcast, your blog, your website, your page, everything, same brand.
Perfect. I like what Emma said there. But the key here is you're taking action. Okay. A lot of us, we get stuck on the name. I just had like Emma knows this. I have like a coaching one-on-one call, every Wednesday. It's a paid coaching call. They pay me so I could coach them one-on-one on over the phone or over the Zoom. And that's the main thing always. Hey, Dr. Mike, I don't know what to name my business. Well, guess what? I have like not hundreds. I'm just exaggerating. Probably 10 LLC or 10 DBAs because I keep changing my name. If you can't even name your business right now, you'll have a hard time moving on forward. So start, not really a lousy name, but start with a simple name like whatever, Lawrence Therapy Services. Simple as that. Or Christy Smith's Therapy Services. That's it. And then along the way, you'll learn and you'll change. And that's the goal, learning how to adapt and adjust. So I started with, what did I start? TN Therapy Outsource. TN Therapy Outsource. Why TN? Because it's Tennessee. We're here in Tennessee. Why Therapy Outsource? Because the coach that was coaching me on that business, his main name of his business is Therapy Outsource. I said, well, I don't want to complicate stuff. I'm going to get TN. I'm going to add your Therapy Outsource. Boom. And then did I use that? Yeah, I probably used it for 6 months. And then I said, it's not really clicking. I'm going to change it to Premier Physical Therapy. Oh, so I made the website already. Remember, Emma, we created that. You helped me create that. Premier Therapy Outsource, blah, 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 blah. And then guess what? Everybody has Premier Therapy already. And it was so hard to brand it.
Yep.
And then, okay, I have to change it again. And I was seeing patients already on the side. And I'm like, well, I mean, how about if I buy this what you call this group hab thing from Patrice, the group exercise. Obviously, I can't use her name, but I think I can change it to at least, Jerry Hab. Now we have the Jerry Hab. No, people think, we're like a big franchise. People in the on here in Jackson think like we're like a super big company. I'm like, oh, so it's all about, taking that first step. It's not going to be perfect. You're going to make mistakes along the way. But the key here is you're taking imperfect actions. In that way, imperfect action beats perfect in action. I know most of us here, if you're a therapist, we know we're perfectionists. We want everything perfect. We want 10 steps, 10 reps, 3 sets, and you need to, shoulders back, head up. Yeah. But when you're starting your own side hustle and business, accept the fact that it's not going to be perfect. Nobody's perfect, except that you just have to lower down your expectations for yourself for now. And then along the way, obviously you need excellence in for yourself. I mean, look at this t-shirt. We made hundreds of this. We printed it out. Is it perfect? It's so lousy. I love it, right now. I mean, I've gotten shirts that Andrew Tran made in one day or one clicking. It was so nice. Emma could probably make a better one. I paid top dollars to print this out, but but we're going to give it out in our grand opening. So
it's all about taking action. Top tip, speaking of names, here's a secret tip for someone. And Mike brings up this good point is when you name it, I actually really like, Shapiro Physical Therapy. That's my last name. Or Tucker, therapy. because oftentimes it's not already out there. The worst thing you can do is like what Mike said, Premier Therapy, Premier Physical Therapy. Everyone is named that. It's so hard to rank. If you have a unique name, when people type that in, you want to be the only word there. That's why software companies are sometimes weird names like Slack or something funky. It's because when you type it in, that's the only thing you're going to get.
Can I
So
do
think
funky
about that.
therapy services?
Which one?
As you said, sounds funky. Can I do funky?
You could do funky therapy services. I
Mhm.
don't know. But so think of a creative name, and use that because you want it to be unique. So just really fast.
Perfect.
And we dive more deep into our program, but just a
Yep. Yep.
little tidbit on that.
There you go. I'm looking at the group here. All right. So yeah, again, if you're watching live, comment live, watching the replay, comment replay. We're talking about the mentor
Yeah.
thing.
And if you have some
So
business names, put them in the comments too.
yep, if you
Or put
already
them
have
in
your
the Zoom
business
chat.
name,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like what I said, it doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
Another LLC that we did is Pops DVDs. My wife sold DVDs initially. Okay, so she would buy pallets and pallets. Remember those, Emma?
I remember
Pallets of
those for sure.
DVDs, like taller than us. We would get it on the warehouse. DVDs, Pops DVDs, because her name is Poppin, and she named it Pops DVDs. That's the LLC. But guess what? And slowly she transitions to more other stuff. So is she just selling DVDs now? No, she's got other stuff now, like other stuff that she bids online and resells it on her flea market. So all right, so let's go and move on forward. Okay, so why do we do this? We do this, you need to have a purpose and a passion. We do this for the family. We do it for your purpose. Remember the 4 P's, ladies and gentlemen. Type in four if you're still watching live. Type in four if you're still watching live. The 4 P's. Why are you doing this? First is the passion. Okay. Second is your purpose, ladies and gentlemen. What's the purpose behind it? Are you just wanting to make money, or stuff like that? Number three, I know we hate the word productivity, but you really need to be productive. Why? Because you may get the profit. You may get the profit one time, but if you're not productive, well, guess what? You're not going to be able to survive. It's like four things. Thank you for commenting there, Lauren. It's like a chair. It's not going to stand up if you don't have four legs on it. Take off one, three is probably good, but you take off two, you're going to burn out. You may have the passion, you may have the purpose, but if you're not making profit and being productive out of it, it's going to fall. You're going to burn out. If you have just the passion, the purpose, it's just a hobby, and you got the profit and productivity, like what we have in the group. We got the profit in therapy. We're very productive. We burn out too. And it's very, very important that you have four of them. And that way you can balance it out. Okay. Okay. Where are we at? So let's go back to the slide again. Oh, there you go. My kids. It's like 2 or 3 years ago that we took this picture. We still have 3 or 4 dogs there. So yeah, all right. So why mentor? Why mentor? Remember in school, we always loved that teacher or that professor who led by example, who motivated us, who coached us, and just really, mentored us. And if you like that professor, well, guess what? Just be like them. Be a mentor. And that's what we're going to be talking about. The letters of mentor, mentor. Okay. So, but before we keep on going, this is our school picture in PT school. Imagine that. So can anybody here spot me? Anybody here can spot me here? I guess Emma, you should cross this out here, Emma. 1998.
Is it aging you?
I know, right? How do I do that? I'll find someone to cross that out, like Photoshop it. Somebody in the chat box, she can't find me. Okay, I'm over here on the left side here. I'm wearing eyeglasses,
Oh my gosh, you
and
have so much hair.
I had hair. I had hair. That's me there. That's not a hair. That's a wig.
Oh.
That's a wig. And I was wearing shades because this friend of mine, he asked me, "Hey, let's wear some shades, man, and put some wig on." I'm like, he tricked me into it. Why am I showing this now? Is it totally related? No, it's actually related to what we're doing right now. Why? Because you need to learn how to stand out. You need to learn how to differentiate yourself. I'm not saying be like a weirdo like me, but out of this, how many students here in PT school? Let's just say 100. Uh, I'm probably one of the, you know, quote unquote influencers. Some of them, they're very successful. They own their own clinics now here in the States. This guy here, he probably has like 10, 15 clinics in New Jersey. And they're, most of them, they're really successful. But I had to differentiate myself because I'm not that smart. And same thing when you're starting to your side hustle, your business, or whatever topic that we're talking about today, you have to learn how to differentiate yourself. And the only way for you to be able to differentiate yourself is to be a mentor. Okay. Be the leader in that field, be the authority. In order for you to be the authority in your field, you have to be an author. Okay. That's what we're going to be talking about too later. Okay. All right. So be different, be crazy. Right. So, like what Jimmy McKay said in his speech, there's this guy that attended it. Shout out to Jimmy McKay. When you find that specific passion, go crazy on it. And if you really want to stand out, start your own business, you just have to go all in. You cannot serve two masters at once. And like Emma and I were just talking about this earlier, we just served this group like crazy, and we just had to own it. All right, so this is the letters that we're going to be talking about today. Mentor. Normally, every letter is a day that we teach for that 6-week thing, and we're going to try to quickly summarize that tonight, so in that way you guys can get a value in the group. So letter M is basically meet a need. What is that need that you're wanting to serve? What is that niche that you're wanting to serve? In my case, it's Alzheimer's and dementia. Okay, it's Alzheimer's and dementia. And then the next letter is educate and add value. How do you educate? You educate them by creating a podcast, creating a show like this, creating a webinar, teaching them about that niche that you're wanting to serve. Okay, and add value. How do you add value? Give them free books, like what we're doing right now in our clinic. We're going to educate them about Alzheimer's and dementia. We're going to add value by giving them free shirts, free books, and free assessment, stuff like that. Okay, so letter E is educate. Next letter is network. Network with those people who are actually doing what you're doing. I'm actually applying this now in my business. So I met a need. There's a need of therapy services in Jackson. And I had to educate them. Hey, this is what I'm doing. I'm interviewing different people. I'm reaching out to different assisted living, nursing homes, administrators. I'm educating them and also interviewing them. I'm adding value. I'm giving them books, my books that I promote, that I have, that I've written and bought, and give it to them. And I network with them. What else am I doing? I'm doing social media. I'm putting myself out there. Okay. Emma said, keep going. Someone's at my door, so I'm gonna quick check. So yeah, Emma, go. I'm doing social media. I'm putting myself out there. Is it perfect? No. I make mistakes. I do Facebook Live. I still make mistakes. And then the next letter will be T, is team of winners. You have to surround yourself with team of winners. To be honest, my team of therapists, I'm going to shout out to them if they're watching. Blake, Caitlin, Cassie, Lawson, Rebecca, Brooke. We hired another one today, yesterday, Lisa. They're amazing. You got to surround yourself with team of winners that's actually going to believe in what the cause that what you're trying to achieve or trying to build up, because you cannot do this on your own. You cannot do this on your own. I have the people that I mentioned are therapy PTAs, and we have PT, Naomi, Sean, shout out to them, and Jesse at Nashville. We have a team that actually believes in us. The winners, you got to hire a winner, people who are actually winning. Okay. Next is one-on-one coaching. You need to find the coach. It doesn't have to be me, doesn't have to be Emma. You find the coach that you want to mimic. I personally have coaches. I have a business coach, Engelbert De Vera. I have Greg Todd as my coach. I have Emma. She's one of my coaches. I have a speaker coach. I pay them. I invest on them. It's not cheap. I pay the 48 days group that I have. That's 4,800 a year. And we paid that. I pay Greg Todd to mentor me. I pay Engelbert de Vera to mentor me on how to start my business. So you need to find a coach. The great players, great basketball players in the world, LeBron James, Stephen Curry, the basketball right now, Giannis Antetokounmpo is like, I think he's the MVP. Is he the MVP? I don't know. They have coaches. Is the coach better than the player? Probably in their heydays, or their but they guide them, they mentor them, like what we're doing right now, right? And then last but not least is repeat or recurring revenue. You need to find that repeat or recurring revenue, so we're going to talk about that too. Or you have to just repeat this process again and again, in that way you're going to be able to start your own side hustle, or small business. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and keep on moving forward. Uh, so this course is actually, or this class is this for those people who desire to engage with people around, or if you have a topic that you have in mind, or if you have a book that you want to write. If you're a therapist and you want to reach and influence that, improve your influence and impact, this is it. Follow the mentor method. Okay. And we're going to keep going. Okay. Welcome back, Emma. So the question is, what is your message? What's keeping you up at night? This morning, I talked to Will Butler. He's like the financial guy, and he asked me this question: "What's keeping you up at night, Michael?" And of course, I answered him: my wife and my dogs and my kids. So, but kidding aside, what is keeping you up at night? What is this niche or this group of people that you want to serve? Okay, type in whatever group of niche that you want to serve. Type in the chat box, or in the Facebook group, or in the YouTube, or whatever. Type in there, what's that niche? My niche is the Alzheimer's and dementia. And I'm also, I've talked to Jeremy Sutton. I also want to serve Parkinson's, because that's also another group. So it's still related. Geriatrics, it's still related. So what is that niche that you're wanting to serve? Next is, what problem are
I
you
love it.
wanting to
Lauren
solve?
says pelvic health, pregnant, postpartum. I love that. I
Oh,
love that.
there you go. Okay. So pelvic, pregnant, and postpartum woman. Boom. You already got that. Okay. And what need can you meet? Because you can find that niche. You can probably find that niche, but can you solve that problem? I had a big problem with the Alzheimer's and dementia, because I cannot solve it. I cannot treat it, but I can educate it. That's where I stop. And Tipa Snow, if you don't Tipa Snow, type in Tipa. That's where Tipa Snow comes in. That's where the networking comes in. And I've interviewed her several times. And I said, Tipa, I want to learn what you're doing. I'm not here to compete. You're not here to compete. You're here to collaborate. But now, if that company is wanting to compete with you, that's a different story. But you need to collaborate. Stop competing and start collaborating. For example, with Lauren's comment, look for people who are actually doing it. There are a lot of people actually doing it, and it's an underserved market. Nobody, imagine here in Martin, I had to send one of my patients to like an hour away just to do a pelvic floor assessment, because I can't do it. I posted in the group, and what's her name? Tracy Sher, the pelvic guru lady. Hey, Michael, this is my website. Look up who is the closest pelvic expert in that area. Boom. So there's that need. There's always that need. Okay. All right. Move on to the next slide. So obviously, this mentor course works good if you have a lesson to teach. Okay. So I have books. I have several books that we published. That same books that I've written, we created as a PowerPoint, and that PowerPoint becomes the lecture and becomes an ebook that they can download, and then it becomes a training program, right? It could be your online course. Okay. So it's actually a good, a good way to start your own side little hustle. So for example, with Lauren, maybe 25 tips how to prevent postpartum whatever depression. I don't know, decrease your, incontinence episode, something like that. In that same book that you've written, it could be downloadable in your website. It could be printed out as a PDF. It could be bought in Amazon. Emma could help you and teach you how to do that.
There's so
It
many
could be,
ways to repurpose. And I love
yeah,
doing a book first because it outlines for your course and for your videos. So I'm a big fan. Some people like it the other way, but I like the book first and then the course, because you sort of outline what you're going to say in your course, and you can create separate videos and have those videos be a free course or a paid course. There's so many ways to do it.
That's so true. The same book, the Misunderstanding Dementia book that I have, is actually every month or every. So let me stop my share screen for a second. So we have this book called 365 Daily Tips for Dementia Caregivers. It's 365 pages. So it's like small tips, put your walker close to your bed, something like that. 365 daily tips. That same tip, we made it obviously as the book, and we made it as a picture, and it's that same content. If you're going to go to my Gerihab Physical Therapy and Wellness Facebook page, every day we have a content there, because it's the same topic. It just keeps on recycling. It just keeps on posting there. 365 days, we have a content there. So you got to start with writing that small book. It doesn't have to be 365. Start with 25 tips. Why? Because 25 pages is the minimum page that, the publisher, the Amazon will publish it for you. And then from that tip, you make it as a PowerPoint. That will be your presentation in your community, the presentation or the PowerPoint in your small little course that we're doing right now. And then the rest is history. It could be a certification course. It could be a CEU class. It could be whatever. All right. And then that same thing, like what I said, that 25 tips, or whatever you write, 25 tips to improve your pelvic health or whatever. It could be a blog post too. You copy and paste it. It's a blog post, and it could be your topic for your Facebook Live. A lot of people like, oh, I'm losing content on what to say in Facebook, Michael. Well, because we start with that little book that you've written, and you'll never lose content. You'll never lose content. Okay, where were we on that page? Okay, all right. Well, I got some faxes coming in. All right, and of course, a problem that needs coaching. We already know what we do this. We already do one-on-one coaching with our patients, right? And of course, a product to sell. It's very important that you're selling something. Your services, don't be afraid to sell. You know what? We're selling every day. We're selling. When you're going to a patient's room, that's therapy. You're selling therapy services. If you don't know how to sell your services, well, guess what? I don't know how you can convince a patient. We are the ultimate, salesman, because we're selling our services. We're selling our skills. Who would want to exercise, right? So we convince them to exercise, right? So yeah. All right. So again, that's the recap. Meet a need, educate, add value, network, team, one-on-one coaching, and repeat or recurring revenue. Okay, just a recap. So let's go ahead to the first letter M. Do we have time, Emma?
I think that's a good summary there, Mike. I think you did a good job of summarizing each, sort of giving people the steps for each. So I think now would be good is we could maybe even take like some questions. So I think that's, while we have people watching, while we have everyone, I think it's you saw the outline. So now let's take some questions. Like if Lauren has any questions specific for her business, we'd be happy to answer them. Joan, Sarah, Teresa, Arlen, and anyone else in the Facebook group too. Feel free to let us know your questions, and we can talk about them a little bit here.
Yeah. Let me just wait for some questions, but
I think while we're waiting for questions, it's so easy to get started. And the easiest thing you can do to test whether or not your idea is going to be enough to get started, because you can, you don't want to put all your eggs and start something and then all of a sudden there's crickets. You hear crickets. But what you can do is simply say, Lauren, you wanted to start doing pelvic health. You just post on your Facebook, on your Facebook profile and say, hey, I would love to start seeing, women. If you have any sports related issues after pregnancy, if you have, any urinary issues after pregnancy, you don't even have to have it be that specific, but you could have some bullet points like that. And you could say, hey, is anyone interested in talking to me, for 15 minutes about your issues? I'd love to hear. And, if there are crickets, don't stop there, because sometimes it takes time. some people be like, oh, post. And then if no one says anything, move on. That's not always correct. When we first started our ergonomics course, there were crickets. And I just had to position what I was saying differently. And then we started to get more feedback. We started to get more interest. So sometimes it's how you're asking and how you're saying that's causing the crickets, not the idea. So I also want to just put that in the back of your mind. But just simply post on your Facebook profile. You don't have to have a business yet. You don't have to have your sole proprietor, your DBA, or your LLC or PLLC. None of it. Just simply post that. Or, if you have, Instagram, same thing, Twitter, TikTok, all of them, just do that and see what you get. Even if you're intimidated by social media, just go into your friends, go into, coworkers or something like that, and just talking to them and going from there if they know anyone. So
I
Lauren
love
says,
Lauren's
oh,
question
yeah,
there. That is so powerful, Lauren. I mean, is it okay if I share this, Lauren? I guess it's okay. You posted in the group thing. She said, I struggle with imposter syndrome as far as making the switch from acute care. Any tips for how to overcome that and really be the authority in the field? So it's funny you mentioned quote unquote authority. In order for you, first of all, it's normal to feel that way. You know what? Who has the biggest imposter syndrome between you, me, and Emma in this group? I am.
me. No,
I have the biggest imposter syndrome. You know why? Because first of all, English is not my first language. I have to, I know we don't want to say this word. I have to fake it to make it. I know a lot of people like, oh, that's not good, Michael. You're faking it. To be honest, I'm really just faking it. I'm faking. Is this my real accent? No, my accent is so thick. People still notice I have a Filipino accent. And I every now and then I'll change it to an American accent, but it's just hard. Every day I encounter it. Every single day I wake up. Am I really supposed to do this? Can I really do this? Can I really go to America? A little Filipino kid, 4'9". No, I'm not 4 foot, 5 foot, 5'5", Filipino. Can really do this, what we're doing right now? Do I have the talents and the skills to go live in this video? Every day I encounter it. So you're not alone, Lauren, but you go back again to that passion and that purpose, and everything will follow. What is it? And then sometimes I'm going to say this in a nice way, not just for you, Lauren or Emma. Sometimes we are just so focused on ourselves that we forgot that there's this still higher purpose that we need to do, that we need to serve that specific niche or that specific group of people. Once you find that and you find that passion and that purpose, you will forget that imposter syndrome. When I go out and I see a patient, I'm like, I don't have to worry about my accent anymore. I don't have to worry about if I have the right degree. You know what? What those letters behind my name? I had that imposter syndrome in my head. I need to get all these letters behind my name. I need to get my DPT. I already have my PT license, and just because I had that imposter syndrome too, and it's real. I'm not saying it's not real, but you just have to face it. Just like being a superhero, you're a superhero. Not just a regular hero. You are a superhero, and you just have to face it. You face the enemy, and be the hero that you were made to be. Not just a regular hero, but the superhero that you're meant to be. And she also mentioned about authority. In order for you to be the authority in your field, you need to be an author. And it doesn't have to be a big book. Start with little 25 tips. I'm sure you already have in mind 25 tips how to improve your pelvic health. Send that book. If you send your email right now, I'll send you a template that you can use and type in 25 tips, and then we'll help you publish it, free of charge. We'll use Emma or my account or Emma's account. We'll help you publish it. If it's not going to be perfect, obviously. I mean, I'm not a great editor or something, but you do it yourself, or email us, or I'll email you. Oh, she already put it. I'll email you the template that you can use and type 25 tips how to improve your pelvic health. Maybe, I could think 5 right now on top of my head. Do some Kegels exercise. What are the 7 Kegel exercise? That's 7 already. You got like how many more? You need 25 pages. because it needs 25 pages to publish it on Amazon. Okay.
And really, I think don't try to be the authority of the whole field. You can be the authority in your local industry. I think a lot of us think, oh, I have to be, the Jillian Michaels of fitness. And I don't know who is that of pelvic floor, but you don't. You just have to be your local authority. So I really like to start locally. And I think that's really powerful. So talking to your local providers, your local chiropractors, your local nutritionists, your local massage therapist, your whole local team, and you can bring them this book and you can say, hey, I've got this book. Or you could just introduce yourself and create connections and say, hey, I have a passion for pelvic floor. I'm launching this pelvic floor business. Do you want to team up? And so you can be the recommended chiropractor. You can be the recommended massage therapist, and you all come together and you're the recommended. I don't know if you're OT or PT, Lauren, but you can be that recommended therapist. And so that's a way too, is trying to focus on local. In addition, for imposter syndrome, find friends. It's, oh, you're welcome, OT, great. So find friends too. And especially in the industry, it can be lonely. And so like Mike has been such a support for me. Carrie Petzinger has been such a support for me. Chrissy's been such a support. And so trying to find friends, because you're going to have ups and downs. So if you can find people in the pelvic floor industry that aren't maybe local competition, but a little bit farther away, like maybe another state or something, that way there's not as much sort of competition, connect with them, and they're going to give you tips, and it's just going to help when those bumps happen and you're feeling like an imposter. There's going to be ups and downs. Mike and myself and Facebook make it look like everyone's so perfect, but it's not. Like, we are tired. We work so hard. We fail all the time. And so failure is just part of the process.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Adina said she.
I'll get those emails for you, Mike.
Yeah. Maybe, or the best, email me or email my assistant, Tasha. I'm gonna type it here.
You got it.
If
Okay.
you need that template, email my assistant and she will email it to you. How about that? I think that's much better. And then she could just reply to you, the template. So email her, Tasha at drmikechua.com, and I'll let her know. She sometimes she gets surprised. What are those emails? So, and then, yeah. Okay. So, you want to keep going, Emma?
Let's take one more question here. So
Okay.
does anyone, we can keep going with Lauren, but we'd love to open it up to other people. Any other questions that we can help with?
There you go. So while we're waiting again for some questions or whatever, there's a lot more on this slide. If you want it, email us and we'll forward it. So there's a lot more on the topic here.
We have hours of content.
Yeah. So I teach this for like 6 weeks, but we're just, summarizing it. I'll just do it real quick. We'll just go through. So again, letter M is meet a need. You're meeting a need. It's like the book, again, like what we talked about while we're waiting for those questions, like a business card. It's basically a business card. Your book is your business card in steroids. You at the back of my book is, are my telephone number, my fax number, email. It's basically jacked up business card, so people, they will just throw away your business card. Let me stop my share screen. It's business card here, they're just going to throw this away because it's all about me, right?
Mm-hmm.
But with the book, it's about themselves, the tips that you're going to give. I don't have my books right now because I think I have here. Oh yeah, I have one here because I've been doing Facebook Live, right? I'll be like, hello, how are you? My name is Dr. Mike Chua. I'm the author of How to Prevent Falls in Your Senior Years, blah, 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 blah. And then, I'll give this for you for free on the grand launching. And then actually, how to prevent falls, right? And at the back is our telephone number, our fax number, our email, our website for our clinic or whatever. And then there's some tips here, that do you think I wrote it? No, I didn't.
Mike is a fan of ghostwriters.
So, English is not my first language. Do I write perfect English? No, I paid someone to write it for me. It's and then you just personalize it. You put your name on it, and then boom. And it's very simple, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to start your own little influence and everything, you need to have a team that will actually believe in you and bring out the best in you. Like, I have Emma here. She brings out the best in me too. She believes in me. All right.
Oh, good. We got a couple questions here.
Mhm.
Awesome. So Joan asked, how did you go about finding what you want to be a mentor for? Did you have a specific topic? Well, I think like Mike said, it's the 4 Ps. You have to have passion, you have to have purpose, you need something that's also a profitable idea. And so you go about those things. So like usually what we do is we, just take a piece of paper and you write like, what are your skills? Like, are you an OT, PT, speech therapist? What is sort of the settings you've practiced in? What are some unique skills that you have? So what are your skills, your talents? What do you love? What do you love about what you're doing? Or what do you love about your hobbies, your skills, or your interests? And then connect all of that into something that you think would be a profitable idea. I think that's the best way to go about being a mentor. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, yeah. And then, of course, did you have a specific topic you were interested about? I mean, whatever like what Emma said, whatever you're passionate about, and it could change. I
Yeah.
tried to do outpatient. I mean, heck, I don't even know what I'm doing with outpatient. I'm starting an outpatient, but I'm more focused on geriatrics. Well, guess what? Let me share this screen again. Uh, let me go all the way down. Okay. Let me go all the way down on the slide. And there are a lot of people who are actually doing it. Different topics. Let me go down, blah, 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 blah. So this one, his niche is mastermind, creating businesses, Todd. Uh, what's his name?
David Bailiff.
David Bailey. It's all about mobile therapy. Okay. Katie Henry, all about pediatrics. Ruth is all about myofascial release. Engelbert, all about home health. Anthony, about Medicare. Uh, Andrew Tran, it's all about creating T-shirts. They're therapists too. Uh, this is Austin Wynn, and talk about he's a PT, but he teaches people how to eat properly or something like that. You and Jeremy Sutton, how about publishing books? He's a physical therapist too, and so on. Javier Carlin, and so on. Patrice Hassan, group exercise, and so on. Kara Welke, therapy business, next level OT, and Emma, student loan stuff.
Well, I don't even do that. So this brings up a good point is you can start with something and then pivot. I talk to a lot of people about niching. And this is a subject that Mike and I talk much more at length because it deserves a bigger conversation and it's complex. But a lot of people are worried about niching too much, not niching enough, and switching niches. You can switch. I know so many people that have switched a million times. Just like Mike said, I've switched too, because you're not always going to maybe choose something that you have a passion for or profitable, in demand. Or maybe it's a blend. So maybe let's take pelvic floor. So maybe you go out and you are really focusing on what was some of the things she mentioned?
Maybe incontinence or
incontinence.
during,
So say you're really focused on incontinence. Now I know that's a huge topic, so I know people want that, but let's just say there wasn't that much interest in that. But there's a lot, but you're getting a ton of like CrossFitters. Well, then pivot to that. So within your niche, you can pivot to something else and it's totally fine. I think a lot of people talk about niching and they almost try to niche down too much. It's okay to experiment a bunch. I'm a fan of experimenting. And then from there, you see, what do I hear crickets in? What do I hear lots of feedback in? And then you're like, awesome, it's easy. People have niched for me. I don't even need to niche because people have niched for me. And boom, it's the CrossFitters, or boom, it's the urinary tract. And so that's how I go about understanding how I'm going to talk, is really letting my audience choose. So just talk about women's health. And then what you get tons of questions in, boom, That's your niche. That's what you're going to be the expert in. And hopefully, that also blends with your skills and your knowledge, etc. But let that guide you. I think that's the best way, because then it becomes natural and it's not forced. And then it's like you almost don't even have to sell because people are asking you, and then you're just answering their question. So that's how I would go about finding the specific topic. It's just general topic, and then on certain days talk about more specific topics, and whatever you get 120 comments on, there's your niche.
There you go. That's true. That's true.
Okay,
All right. Yeah.
last
Don't be
question
afraid
here.
to
Yeah.
pivot or change. I've changed. Same thing with the business name. Whatever is profitable and whatever you're passionate about and whatever you're productive. So Emma knows this. I teach a class, a CEU class called the Alzheimer's Disease and Dementia Care Seminar. And for last year, I was rocking it. Every month, boom, 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 boom. I was teaching it, and I thought that's going to be my life. Well, before COVID, I was traveling, every month to travel to Chicago, back here in Tennessee. I would speak at different conferences, and that was my life. Money was good. And before COVID, I said, I'm going to start doing Zooming or whatever. And I started Zooming, right? And now everybody was doing Zoom now. I'm like, I don't want to do that anymore. So you're going to have to change. You're going to have to adjust. So now I think I haven't taught for like 2 or 3 months now. uh, I taught the first part of the year, but I haven't taught, I think I didn't taught last month, and I think May, I can't remember. I think I'm going to teach it this July. It's just you just have to learn how to adapt and adjust. But I like the last question here, Emma, from Adina. Do I put in content that I would still use in the course that would go with a protocol I would be eventually sell? I feel like I'm giving away info. Yes, you have to give away stuff. You know, to be honest, the book itself, everything is almost in there. But inside that mentor course, okay, so let me go back to that screen. I think Emma is to finish it, but let me go back here. Rem well, let me go back up. So there you go. So there you go. Okay. So M, if the M provides valuable but incomplete information, it's like a skeleton, okay? Then the E completes the piece by adding value. So in my case, we have the downloadable version of ebook. It's free. And then we added a course called the Misunderstanding Dementia course at $37. Okay. And then you develop lessons and assignments and webinar series and blah, 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 blah. So that's the explanation there. So create a small ebook. Okay. You can put much information there, whatever you want, right? A protocol, whatever. But people, you got different people, people who wants to read, people who wants free. We got lots of people who wants free. And then people who wants the mid-level where they can watch you and see you. Some people, they want to just read the book. Some people, they just want to read the PDF. That's okay. That's a good audience too. Don't get me wrong. Those good. I always tell this to Emma. I mean, it's okay to serve those free people. They want free stuff. But eventually you will have to keep on transitioning to a higher level of coaching program where you will offer your one-on-one services, just like in therapy. This is what we do in therapy. The company, your company that you're working for, they provide this mentor method. They have the M, okay, we're going to open up so for example, let's just say pelvic floor. Okay, we have this clinic, we're serving pelvic floor. That's a need. And they start educating them. Okay, we're going to put some social media ads, blah, 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 Google ads, educating them. They're going to do some webinars. Well, guess what? They network with different physicians to get those referrals. And then T, they hire you as a team. You're part of that team. And then guess what? What's on the letter O is one-on-one. You're the one who's providing the one-on-one coaching, one-on-one services for those patients. Well, guess what? The one-on-one services are a higher level. You're probably charging the insurance 150, 175. I don't know what your insurance pays you. And that's the one-on-one there. Well, guess what? The letter R is repeating it. You're repeating that process. And if if the bigger companies are actually doing it, we as a small therapy business owners, we can do it too. And by starting a small little book, like what Emma's suggesting, how we start this side hustle business.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's okay to give away info right now. Okay, it's okay because you're planting that seed.
You
You're
have to
planting.
gain trust.
There you
Exactly.
go.
You've got to gain trust. You've got to have, people get to know you, similar to like what we're doing. You get to know me, you get to know Mike. We're building trust.
There you
So we are finishing up here. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying on the whole hour. I really appreciate it. We do have a healthcare business challenge going on. I'm going to share the link here. Let me see. If you want to stop sharing, Mike, I think I can share. Perfect. I'll share my screen really fast. So we do have a coaching program that Mike and myself and Chrissy have started. So we have different coaches, and it is 60 days of live training just like this, where we're talking to you in a small group fashion, where you can get, immediate advice from us, helpful tips. We can review everything and walk you through everything. And each week we've got every single thing planned out: building your brand, finding your niche, accounting and legal stuff, getting your first client, scaling your business, the pricing, everything. 8 weeks, once a week, we are meeting together just like this on a Zoom to make sure that you are checking everything off of your list, that we're all doing this together, that you're growing your business together with us, and that you have the accountability and the advice to do what Mike has done, what we're trying to teach you right now. And so that is going to start August 9th. The live classes start August 9th. And so it is this is an amazing deal. And honestly, we've priced it super affordable. Right now it's $697. I'm actually going to, for those of you on here, I will give you a coupon so you can get it for $597 as appreciation for staying on and for listening and for showing your interest in this business program. And we're only limiting it to 20 people because we want to keep it like this. We want to keep it small and intimate so we can answer every single person's questions.
Is it $597 or $397, Emma?
No, that's a savings of $397.
Oh, okay.
So the price is $697, but I'll give everyone a $100 coupon, so the price will be $597. Which, if you think about it, that's really amazing because 1 hour with Mike is $300. 1 hour with me, I'm really, really cheap. I'm $150. So literally, you're getting tons of hour. You're getting 90-minute sessions here. So this is 1, 2, 3. It's like 12 hours you're getting for the price of literally like 2 hours. And a bunch of help, email support. You can email me. You can chat with me anytime you want to. This, it's really Mike and myself and Chrissy, we've created this and we want you to actually succeed. Courses, I don't feel like we were trying to figure out what we wanted to do. Did we want to do a course? But I said no, because you need these answers, just like what you're talking to us right now. You need those answers. We got a bunch of bonuses here. Everyone's going to get a call with me or Mike, depending upon our schedule, or Chrissy, depending upon our schedule. You're going to get the podcasting course. You're going to get the virtual wellness course. And I do have a self-publishing course that I will put in there too, because it seemed like everyone had a bunch of interest for the self-publishing. So you'll get podcasting, you'll get virtual wellness, you'll get self-publishing. Everyone gets a phone call with us to make sure that you're on the right path. You have any questions. And if you need another call with me at another time, I'm fine with that. I want everyone here at the end of 60 days to have their first client. Now, insurance-wise, you may not be approved with insurance, but we do talk about insurance. But you can start cash and build up from that. So we, hope that you think about it. And please let us know if you have any questions.
Emma?
Yep.
Go ahead and put in the Alzheimer's disease and dementia care seminar. If they buy this,
that's
they can
generous,
join.
Mike. That's like $250.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's $247. if they sign up, today or the next week, whatever, or whatever days, or the first 20 people that you signed up, tell them, they're free, not free, to join the class I'm teaching this coming 31st, so they could, and then in that class, I'm going to teach you more too, on,
Awesome.
some of the
Awesome.
stuff that we're
So
talking.
literally you're getting $250 for free from Mike. You're getting over $350 for free here. And we value everything super low. I could be like one of those, half of those web pages value everything at $1,000. That's ridiculous. It's not worth that. But these, it's valuable and it's helpful. We're very reasonable in how we value everything. So we really hope that you are interested. I'm going to put our email below too. So if you do have any questions and you want to chat, oh, thank you, Lauren. I'm glad that you're interested. If you want to have a quick call with me to make sure that we can help you, no problem at all. I'm going to put my email here. Email me and we will hop on a call. I do not want anyone to not know if this is a good fit. I want you to know that Mike and myself and Chrissy were real people. We're not scammers. We're trying our best. And as long as you follow the system with us, by the end of these 60 days, you'll have a business that you're happy about, that you're confident, and really hope that you get your first client. Thank you, Chrissy. I appreciate it. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, everyone. And we'll send this out on an email in a replay soon. I appreciate you.
Yeah. My CEU thing, it's actually CEUs too. So you'll get CEUs, right?
Yeah.
Amanda, are you gonna get CEUs for when we're teaching this, or no?
No, I didn't get the CEU approved. It's a little bit harder to get business classes approved for CEUs.
Okay. So, but you get the 8 hour or 7 or 8 hour CEUs from my class anyway.
It's
so
amazing.
that's
amazing,
obviously
Mike. That's
totally worth
amazing.
it,
I mean,
so.
we've literally, it's an incredible deal considering if you compare to lots of programs out there, this is very affordable for live coaching. And I think hopefully everyone got a lot of value today. And I think you'll get a lot of value in this challenge. Thank you so much, everyone. Any questions, email us and we will send out the replay. We appreciate everyone and have a good evening.